Hello everyone, this is Mac with IC Cup TV and another game from the Global Gamers Invitational round of 128, and by that I mean the round of 64. This is the round of 64 best of 3 between HasHe and DalaiLamer. We are on Game 3, it is tied at 1, and we are here on Blistering Sands. So both players playing fairly strong, up to date, and we'll see who is able to overcome the other on this final match. Before we begin, just want to thank those sponsors once again, iFixit, as well as the Handsome Nerd and Esports United, all three generously donating to the prize pool to make this a consequential tournament with great players like we have today. So far, not much going on. We do have standard wall off from the Terran, and nothing much from the Zerg, so probably a fast expansion. While we wait for anything to happen, I just want to quickly say this now, just because it's currently before the beta has gone down for me, but by the time this is up, it's probably post-beta. But it's quite possible we're going to be having some problems with replays. I'm already having a ton of difficulty loading some, Battle.net's being very temperamental, so we might be losing some games. Hopefully we won't. So just a heads up in case something goes wrong. If it does, I'm sorry, it's not my fault. It's the stupid replays not loading. So anyways, on with the match. Still nothing new going on. We are getting the barracks wall off, probably going to get a factory here. I'm doing a nice job here to harass this SCV, but already a new one coming up. Just that's how predictable SCV harassment has become. And there's the fast expansion from the Zerg player, the hatchery before the spawning pool. So maybe HasHe will try and interfere with that expansion or get one of his own. It's very easy for Terran and Protoss players to take that expansion early in the game. Very easy to wall off. You can throw, a barracks in a bunker here or something, and it's pretty easy to prevent a Zerg player from harassing. The extractor has been stolen by that drone, just like last match. And no early gas from DalaiLamer this time, so he is just playing a standard fast expansion, robbing his opponent of one geyser to prevent a fast tech up. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to try Mutalisks again. Putting the Terran player behind in gas will certainly help prevent stuff like Thors from getting out quick. So we'll see how HasHe responds with that. He is immediately moving one Marine out to try and take this out. He is vulnerable here. This factory a few steps behind the supply depots, so Baneling Bust is an option, but still no gas, so we don't know what DalaiLamer is planning to do. So far just playing his standard Zerg macro strategy, getting queens on both of those hatcheries before getting a geyser, and then either picking Zergling speed or lair tech or a Baneling nest as his gas investment. Meanwhile, HasHe doing his best to take out this extractor. The factory is almost done. We are getting a reactor down on the barracks. Probably going to be switching these two out, would be my guess. We'll know very soon if that's what his intention is. And throwing up a command center, so he is going to be fast expanding on his own. There is a lift off, so it looks like we'll be getting a trade-off. So some reactored Hellions will be coming out for HasHe, and he'll try and do enough damage to put the Zerg player far enough behind that his own expansion will keep pace. So 2 Hellions on the way. We'll see how that harass works. We do have 1 spine crawler and a queen at the expansion for DalaiLamer, so he will be well prepared for that. We'll be able to at least damage them if they try a run by, and the creep will be fully expanded by then, so he won't be able to easily outrun the queen very far. Finally got that extractor, so soon we will be seeing the tech decisions of DalaiLamer. Wouldn't be surprised if it's lair tech, but Zergling speed equally useful. And here come those first 2 Hellions. They're on the way. 2 more are queued up as well as an armory, so definitely worried about Mutalisks once again. And a second spine crawler is on the way, and it looks like he's going for the run by. Only 1 hit from the spine crawler, and he's now in. There's only 1 queen, dances right around that queen, and he's now loose inside the drones. Nice play by HasHe. The drones are running away, lining up nicely for those Hellions with their AoE, and the drones dancing around on the queen to try and do as much damage to those Hellions. And 1 is almost down. They're pulled a little bit too far away. I guess he's had to macro in his base right there. Had a great opportunity to get some more kills. The queen's coming even further out of position, so here's a chance for him to break in again. The Zerglings are going to catch these, it looks like, especially if they're on creep. Some nice little micro there, able to dance around those Zerglings, so I think he will get these 4 Zerglings, but 2 queens are out now, so the drones should be safe from any further harassment. There is, however, now a third Hellion. The fourth one must have gone down on the way in, so only 2 Hellions once again. And just trading Hellions for Zerglings, so the DalaiLamer doing a very, very nice job, not losing many drones at all, and just trading a few Zerglings for a few Hellions. So I think that from the units lost perspective, we are actually tied for the time being. I'm not sure if drones are properly calculated. I never really did the research on that, but I imagine both sides pretty much equal. So, oh, and another harass of Hellions on the front door, while his opponent isn't looking, catches a few more drones, and he's going to be forced back. Still producing tons of Hellions, so he's really committing to his Hellion harass, and DalaiLamer finally picking up the lair tech, so maybe we'll be getting some Mutalisks or something to try and deal with that Hellion harass, put the Terran player back on the defensive. And this expansion now up and running with some mules and a transfer from the Terran main. Worker-wise, the Zerg player is ahead, so despite the harassment, he is able to macro out tons of drones, but what he is not doing is producing any buildings or units. We do have a Roach Warren coming down, so something to stop those Mutalisks, rather stop those Hellions, and they are inside once again trying to harass those drones. They cook one more, and taking a few more hits from those Spine Crawlers. They do get inside. Nice job with those Queens to try and make sure that those Hellions do not get free kills. They are going to hit 2 more drones, a bunch of them getting stuck on this Queen, roasting several drones in the process, however. And look at that nice little pile. Here's a chance to score many. There goes 3 more. Tons of drones going down, and this very successful Hellion harass finally kills tons of drones and puts HasHe ahead in the worker count. So some very, very nice work there. I don't think Hellions are going to work any longer. He does have 2 more that he could try with, but I think he has just about expended that advantage. He is producing no more Hellions. Finally, those might have been his last 2, and it looks like he is going to retreat into his base. He can afford to do that. He did a very, very nice job. He now controls 2 bases and has delayed his opponent enough, wasted enough of his resources. He's picking up Terran weapons, so I suspect he is going mech. But I'm totally wrong, because lots of barracks coming down, so definitely a mech infantry hybrid build. Probably going to see lots of Marines, Marauders, and Siege tanks, but maybe Thors as well. So we'll see which combination he ends up settling on. That's the nice thing about Terran, is you can just build tons of units. They're all such good generalist units. They all work well together. All you need is a lot of them. The Zerg player, meanwhile, has grabbed an infestation pit, probably for Neural Parasite to deal with those Thors. Also necessary for Hive Tech. If your opponent does go mech, Ultralisks and Brood Thors are really your best options. 2 Evolution Chambers, so whatever he decides to focus on will have the upgrades. And a very, very small army at this point in time. I think he only has a couple of roaches. 5 only? So only 5 roaches and static defenses. Terran player, meanwhile, has a much more substantial army. If he did press out, he probably would be very successful. Using those Thors against the Spine Crawlers, they would go down very quickly. But nonetheless, does seem content just to sit back in his base and produce units at a very, very steady rate. And both players are going to have some time for their particular builds to evolve. However, HasHe does look like he is planning to press out and not give his opponent time. So I do commend him for that. That is generally the right thing to do. We are getting Hive Tech from DalaiLamer, and his roaches are attacking from 2 fronts. Do catch some Hellions trapped on this Zelmega Watchtower, but they are similarly going to get trapped, I suspect. They are doing their best to retreat, and looks like he didn't have concussive shells researched, so those roaches do escape. So DalaiLamer quickly takes control of those towers and then lets them go, to making sure his opponent doesn't have that vision. Nice little play there. We are getting a Raven from the Terran player, probably just to deal with burrowed Banelings, though no Baneling nest as of yet. And rather clearing the rocks on his own gold expansion. So HasHe will have that available. And still, both players just content to sit back and just prepare